Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Philip, I'm also known as PS or PS Enough. Today we have a video about the demo scene. There was this thread happening on Facebook from some guys who are trying to promote the demo scene as an UNESCO art heritage program kind of thing, and one of the threads that they were making on Facebook talking about their efforts was asking for a list of 10 demos that would somehow explain, showcase the different decades of demo scene evolution and the different platforms. So have a decent balance between geographic localization, different kind of platforms that were being used, and also the different range of scope of different kind of art that is made in the demo scene. So I had a little go at this. It's a very hard list to make, especially because you can only have like 10 demos included, and it always ends up being a personal list of some sort. So I decided to have a go, and I'm gonna show you guys or explain to you guys the logic behind each of the demos that I selected, why I selected those, and I'll put it on a playlist for you guys to check out if you want to check the top 10 demos that I would show another person if I'm trying to explain to them the power of the demo scene and the different platforms and that kind of stuff. And bear in mind, this is usually for a non-tech audience, so it's not for people who really understand a lot of computers. It's for people who want to be amazed by what the computer can do and the whole evolution of the demo scene. So the first demo that I would select would be State of the Art from Spaceballs, and the reasoning behind it would be first because we need something from Amiga. We also need something from Commodore 64, Spectrum, and other kind of platforms. PC will be very easy to be included, so I thought I should start with the Amiga because it was one of the most active demos or demo scene platforms at the time. So State of the Art is a very good example, not only because it broke some barriers on what the demo style used to be, but also because it was also very famous at the time, not just inside the demo scene, but outside the demo scene as well. Could have picked some other earlier demos, maybe to show a bit of the crack throw history behind the demo scene, but I decided to avoid that purposely. Not sure if it was the best decision or not, but that's what it is. Second demo that I picked was Second Reality by Future Crew. It's just a classic on the PC scene, and it shows those early 90s demo scene stuff as well pretty well. The third one that I picked was Mega Blast from Orange. I had a little bit of a hard decision to make because Orange is also from the Finnish demo scene, and I wanted to show a little bit more geographic diversity. I was considering including InCyber from Satori in here instead of Mega Blast by Orange, but I really love Orange, and I really think that they're a group that really dynamized the whole think about design first, or the look of things first, instead of the technology that dominated demo scene for so long. It used to be so much focused on trying to push the maximum out of the technology, and Orange was one of those groups that really made design, graphic design come first, and then the technology be like left for the second plane. Another entry that I picked was then Elevated by RGBA and TBC, because I wanted to have a 4K, and Elevated is definitely one of the most famous 4Ks out there. It's from another time period from the previous demo, so that also makes it easy to be picked, and it also showcases that the demo scene is a lot about doing stuff in reduced size and trying to cramp the maximum stuff into it, and Elevated is a very good example of how you can do realistic stuff with very small, limited resources. Another entry that I picked that also has a similar idea is Chaos Theory from Conspiracy. Chaos Theory is a 64K, so it's slightly bigger in size, but it's also one of the most famous Conspiracy releases, and Conspiracy has released a lot of 64K stuff, and it's similar to State of the Art. It was famous outside the demo scene, not just in the demo scene, and that's very important to include for this list as well. Other entries that I considered including here but ended up not doing was things like I feel like a computer from Melon Design. I ended up not having enough space to include all of those because I wanted to put some stuff from other platforms, not just PC and Amiga. And the one that I selected to represent the Commodore 64 was Lunatico from LFT, just because it shows that on 2000s you can still keep pushing the boundaries of what the machine can do, and at the same time make a demo that it's about design and a common image theme storyline, and not just focused on scrollers and the maximum number of bulbs you can put on the screen. That there was like some sort of evolution in the whole platform that leads to this both technical and design achievement in the Commodore 64. Similarly, I picked I Am the Seed by Cyberpunk's Unity and Inward. It's a demo that both shows the technical capacity, you're showing 3D on the Spectrum, but at the time it's focused all about design, and it's black and white and has this very somber feeling to the whole thing. That it shows that you are also transmitting emotions through demos, not just technology. So yeah. Another entry that I picked, I wanted to pick a very big killer PC demo, and it was almost obvious that you had to pick a Fairlight versus CNCD production because there are so many and they dominated so long the PC demo scene compos throughout the years. I picked Ceasefire because it's a nice balance between, well, first because I really love the music, it's by Hans, it's one of my favorite demo scene musicians. And second, because it shows a lot that particle effect that Fairlight has been focusing so much on, and you really see that you're trying to push the limits of what the GPU can do still in the late 2000s. So it's a good example of how you can put both design and pushing the technology still in modern hardware. Then I decided to pick a 4K that also was pushing the limits nowadays. It was Oscar's Chair by EOS. And I decided to pick one of the most recent demos that still is blowing some minds today, and that was Eon by the Black Lotus that was just released on this past revision. A lot of more demos could be included here, a lot more platforms, a lot more diversity in terms of geography. I feel like I'm missing some stuff from Cocoon here. I feel like I'm missing some stuff from the CPC or even the VIC-20. You know, a lot of the early Commodore 64 stuff, which was the root of all the demo scene pretty much. On the Atari, it's also not represented here, so it feels like there is a lot of holes that could have been filled. But this was the list I came up with. Let me know your list on the comments below. If you agree, if you disagree, what would have you picked that I clearly have forgotten on my heavily biased list. Otherwise, hope this video was useful. Check out the playlist following if you want to impress some people with high quality demos in productions. See you next time. Bye bye everyone. Take care.